We're just 2 days away from the NFL draft, and right now there are a lot of rumors swirling around the Atlanta Falcons. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know heading into the draft. Big news today. Kirk Cousins showed up for the Falcons' voluntary workouts. This is important for a few reasons. First, it shows that Kirk is committed and doing the right thing. Many people thought he might sit out, but he's proving he's a professional. Now, this could also mean he's trying to make a good impression ahead of a possible trade. If given the chance, Kirk could waive his no-trade clause and move to another team. It seems like Cousins isn't the one pulling the strings here. It's his agent. At the end of the day, Cousins wants to do right by both the organization and himself. If he needs to be traded, he'll go with it. Another big development. The Atlanta Falcons have been playing chess while everyone else, OPL, has been playing checkers. A new team has emerged as a potential trade partner for the Falcons, the Houston Texans. They're looking for an offensive tackle, and this could open up some exciting opportunities. For the past few weeks, it's been clear the Falcons are interested in taking a tackle with the 15th pick, if one's available. Because of that, we're hearing more about teams trying to trade up to secure a top tackle. The Texans, in particular, are interested in a high-character tackle, and that could line up with what the Falcons are hoping to get in this draft. So, with all this in mind, I'm not entirely sure if Terry Fontenot is fully set on drafting a tackle, though I do think he is leaning that way. But I also think there's a part of him thinking, if we need to trade back to a team looking for a tackle, we'll definitely do that. This could be a smart move for the Falcons, especially as we get closer to the draft. The more we talk about it, the clearer it becomes. There's a real chance for the Falcons to trade back and pick up some extra draft capital, like maybe a third-round pick, something they could really use this year. Now let's talk about the big board. A few days ago, I shared my big board, and here's what it looked like. Jalen Walker, Mimu, Kelvin Banks, Mike Williams, Donovan Azaraku, Malachi Starks, and Mike Green. But after more insight, here's what we're seeing now from Jay Ben, who's a trusted insider. The Falcons have reportedly locked in their first-round pick, and as expected, Jalen Walker is at the top. The rest of the board includes tackles like Mike Williams, James Pierce, Malachi Starks, and Mike Green. I wasn't far off. The only thing I did differently was switch Donovan Azaraku and James Pierce. I thought the Falcons might shy away from players with off-field concerns, but it seems this year they're willing to take a chance on a guy who can make an impact, even if there are some questions off the field. That seems to apply to James Pierce and Mike Green, too. So here's the bottom line. If one of these top players isn't available when it's the Falcons' turn, they're just going to move down the list and take the next best option. And if the Falcons end up trading back and none of these players are on the board, they're prepared to go with Shamar Stewart as a last resort pick. Let's dive into some exciting news about the Atlanta Falcons. A tweet from Jay Ben suggests that the only way the Falcons might draft Stewart is if they trade down. He mentions that offensive tackles like Pierce, Green, and Williams are all off the board, leaving Stewart as their last option. This makes sense because he could be the defensive end or edge rusher they really need. However, there's a catch. His college production hasn't been impressive. He's a fantastic athlete with great physical skills, but when you watch the game tape and don't see the results, that raises some red flags for many teams. In other news, linebacker Jihad Campbell recently met with the Falcons. Ian Rappaport tweeted that Campbell is a top 15 talent for the 2025 NFL Draft and has also visited teams like the Cowboys and the Falcons. This makes me wonder if the Falcons are seriously considering drafting him. Imagine if they trade back to pick 18 or 20 to gain an extra pick, and then later move up in the second round or back into the first round to grab Campbell. Just think about a team with both James Pierce and Jihad Campbell. That would be amazing. We know that Falcons GM Terry Fontenot loves making moves in the draft, and this could be a game changer for the team. If they can land Campbell along with Pierce or even Matt Williams, it would be a huge win. With these players on board, I'd say the Falcons are playoff bound. One more thing to note, Terry Fontenot will be speaking to the media tomorrow, just a day before the draft. It's interesting that Raheem Morris isn't talking to the press. I wonder if he's keeping quiet for a reason or if there are more surprises in store. As we gear up for the NFL draft on Thursday, I'll share my final thoughts on who I think the Falcons will pick. Right now, I believe it's between Mike Williams and James Pierce Jr., but if a tackle is available, I could see Houston moving up to grab him, or the Falcons selecting a tackle and then trading back to get one of those key players like Pierce, Araku, or Campbell to strengthen the defense. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with my thoughts? Leave a comment below and let me know who you want the Falcons to pick at number 1 or 15 in the NFL draft. If you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And as always, thanks for tuning in.